Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to some more Let's Play Underrail. In the last episode, we explored that abandoned, locked-down warehouse, which had that strange electric dampener in it that we took off the plinth and then activated that location. We found quite a few oddie items in there, a decent sniper rifle frame, which doesn't help us very much, and then we found our way out. We then decided to tackle a group of ironheads, which gave us like half a level for that one group. Quite a bit of loot, which has been stored near Oscar up here for his Oscar Nation. And in particular, found a bloody mobile computer, which we're going to want to take a peek at to see what exactly it contains. Because it contains some very useful information that the Faceless are going to want to know about. And to that end, we're going to wander on down to Underrail Crossing together, talk a little bit about how things are going, and do the summary of what Tim is looking at like so far, both me and our character in the game. So first, let's get over here, and we'll do the in-game Tim first. Here we are, level 15, almost level 16. We will probably hit that on our trip to the Faceless in Underrail Crossing. By now, you guys don't need me to mention, this will be the last time I think I do so, that we are, as you can see, not a min-max character in any way, shape, or form. I am showing off that you do not need to play a min-max character in the game, although it is helpful that I am familiar with most of the rooms in the game, where enemies tend to be, and how dangerous some of them are, so I can avoid certain ones. But still, you can do it. You don't need the min-max character on hard level difficulty to beat the game. Just have a plan, stick with that plan. And by plan, I mean don't scatter your points everywhere willy-nilly and take things because they seem cool. Take things because they are key to your character build. Here's our skills. Once again, we have focused on most of the skills we began taking at level 1, improving them every single level. This is beginning to stop. With temporal manipulation and lockpicking, we'll probably not receive too many more points in the foreseeable future. I think lockpicking stops at 81, to be honest. And our feats. Nimble, Paranoia, Sprint, Tranquility, Escape Artist, Pyromaniac, Expose Weakness, Premeditation, Future Orientation, and of course, because we have to take it, Psi Empathy. For our equipment, still using that level 13 Tichrome Spear. Our Kuduki that we got off the old chopper. I can't believe I just wandered into him. Doesn't get much better than not pretending I know where not knowing where the enemy is. I just wandered right into him, even though I knew he was there. Should have done that battle very differently, but we somehow managed to survive. Thank goodness for luck, I suppose, in the end. Some pig leather tabby boots. Still have not found a doctor's belt. I need a doctor's belt off someone, so we're going to have to try to figure out where we can get one of those from. We're putting back on our antithermix insulated overcoat. Tabby boots don't have any armor penalty, so we should have no armor penalty on us, so that'll help our dodge and evasion a little bit. An okay medium frequency shield emitter. Okay is probably a little too generous. And a level 8 temporal manipulation headband. We probably should look to buy a new one of these too. The MK3 grenades we got off the Ironheads. I don't really want to be throwing grenades on this character. I would like to show off that you don't need them, but man have they been helpful. And they tend to land where I want them. I really can't complain about this character so much as I would often be doing, but putting all those points into throwing and the grenades just not going where I want all the time. Lots of complaining. No points in throwing. Grenades going exactly where I want them to go most of the time. I don't understand Underrail. It's being kind to me, I suppose, because of everything I'm going through. We have a large plethora of drugs that we're bringing with us, of course, as well, to help us out. And how much money do we have, by the way? 7,404 Stygian coins. We are going to want 3 sets of super steel at some point in the game. 1 for a spear, and 2 others for fibers, for boots and a coat. So we need 9,000 Stygian coins for that. In other words, All that money we've been saving, all that's going away. And you guys know me, I like buying my own secondary jet ski, if we can get one. And I also want the house fully upgraded, which means workbenches and everything. So it's going to be very expensive, and we're not taking mercantile to get any of this. So as we wander over here, viewer, we'll talk a little bit about Underrail, the uploads, and me for a little bit. So, hello, good morning. I hope everyone is doing well. I know you guys have been saying to please, Tim, take care of your health first. Don't apologize for not uploading regularly, and thank you. When I apologize, it's mostly because I feel that I can slip in a recording here or there during the week, but I don't. And my health is not terrible. I'm not sick. Well, I am sick. How to describe this? I'm not feeling too many of the effects of the chemotherapy at the moment. This second bout of intense... Oh, we have to read the mobile computer. We'll do it near... I brought it with me, did I? I did, okay. The second bout of intensification, chemotherapy, they increased what my cytarabine dosage. I went from 1,500 milliliters per gram squared or something like that to 2,500. Basically, in every IV drip, they've almost doubled the amount of chemo I have been given. Despite this, I'm not having any other serious side effects that I already did not have for the first bout of chemo. I have been out of the hospital for almost a week now, with today, just in case I didn't mention it, being January 16th, 2023. My taste buds are even slowly coming back a little faster than they did last time, so my body seems to be getting used to the idea of getting these chemo drugs. I am still severely neutropenic. I was at the hospital yesterday for some infusions. I got some platelets, and they checked my CBC, so I have no neutrophils, so my body can't fight any infections at the moment. My white blood cell count is extremely low as well, 300, but this is what they expected. We're hoping to eliminate any trace of that MRD, and the next bone marrow aspirate and biopsy will be done at the end of March. Then in mid-April, we will see what has to happen to me, or discuss the potential future that I will hopefully have. In any case, that was a quick summary of what occurred over the past few days for me here. I can record more often, but I like hanging out with my family, and I'm also recording, well, not recording, I'm just playing other games and not recording them. It's been a while since I've played games and not recorded. I feel always obligated to record. And I'm also a little nervous about the acoustics in this particular room. There's a little bit of language sometimes in some of the games I play too, and I don't want my parents hearing swearing from the back room if I can help it. So, although I do warn them that it's coming from the game and not from me. Only a handful of times have I forgotten where I'm located if I do curse. You guys know I don't like cursing on the screen anyway. Or at all, for that matter. Alright. So here we are at Rail Crossing. And we're going to do two things while we're here. We're going to try to solve this quest, if we can. Which requires us just being patient. I think we have to wait inside. That's what we're going to do. Okay, so we're gonna wait for what's his name, Vincel, to come this way and open this door. He's the only one I think who walks in to see the doctor. Open this door, and then we walk out and bump into him. So that will be the plan, and we'll catch him and complete this quest. However, we're also going to read this computer that we picked up from the Ironheads. This bloody device seems functional, despite having suffered some damage. The screen is scratched but not cracked, and the left side of the mobile computer's body has been dented in such a manner as to suggest that it was grazed by a passing bullet. You can use the touch-sensitive screen to select one of the displayed icons. Let's go down the list. Pictures. You browse through several picture folders. One folder seems to contain a bunch of family photos depicting a burly bald man, a pretty blonde woman that is sadly missing her left arm, and 4 kids, 2 progressively taller boys and 2 progressively darker-haired girls. Other folders mostly contain pictures of various weapons, tools, and other equipment, except for one which contains a few stunning photos of an impressive, yet to you, unknown city. Must be Dis. Camera. Unfortunately, the camera appears to have been cracked badly. Using it would result in perplexing images of shattered reality. Music. You scroll through a decent selection of songs, some familiar, others not. Out of the unfamiliar ones, you notice that instantly draw your attention are Southern Love by the Martyrs and Stillborn by Gronothact. You play them one after the other. The first is a gentle romantic, but still somewhat deep ballad, while the other one makes your ears bleed and forces you to turn it off after 5 seconds. Ain't that the truth? You either really like the music you listen to, or you hate other people's music. Memos. Also, we were phrasing that. When it comes to listening to other people's music, I tend never to want to listen to what someone wants me to listen to, for fear that I'm not going to like it, which is most of the time. But not all the time, which is a useful statement to say. Memos. Let's see. Oldest to newest. You scroll through literally thousands of memos. It is evident that the owner of this handheld keeps notes of even the most trivial things, besides the more significant events and reminders. You'll doubt you'll find anything useful in this folder. I myself clean up. Oh. He was in here. He is still in here. What? Hold it right there, criminal scum. So you're the one who's stealing the medical supplies. The man drops on his knees and begs with a whisper. Please, man, don't report me. I ain't a bad man, come on. I've been doing this because I have to. I meant no harm. I hope you have a very good explanation for this. Please listen. I only need the painkillers. You see, I have an addiction. I got shot several months ago by some lousy ironhead. Dr. Baudruth treated me back then, and I got addicted to those freaking painkillers. I needed them, man. I couldn't do without them. And I knew she wouldn't give them to me anymore. You have to understand me, man. No one knows about this, Kay. I stole a bunch of other stuff from the storage so it wouldn't seem like a thief just came in for the painkillers. Used the chances of someone suspecting me. I feel bad about doing it, but I had to. Please understand. Look. What you did is horrible. There's no denying it. What is the doc going to treat people with? Rocks? But maybe we can work on something out with her. She seems like a sensible person. You can't do this forever, you know. You need help. Jared listens to your words with a bowed head. He replies with a delay. Man, I guess you're right. I can't do this forever. Let's go talk with her. Eliza stares at the two of you with disbelief as you emerge from the storage room. What's going on here? Jared? Jared takes a step forward to speak, his face pale, his voice trembling. I am the one. I've been stealing the supplies from your office, but I can explain everything. Ever since I had that injury several months ago from that ironhead that shot me, I've been addicted to painkillers. I know it's pathetic. I've been stealing them for some time from the lockers, but I also took other things that eliminate the chance someone would suspect me. So I'm going to talk about this really quick. I have painkillers here to help me with some of the after effects, or adverse effects, of chemo. And I was on painkillers during my induction at the hospital. Absolutely a horrible stomach, intestinal pain. I didn't want to be on painkillers. I generally have bad reactions to painkillers, but I needed them. I've never really felt the need to take drugs unless they are going to do something for me. I don't take drugs as a recreational thing, ever. So it's not like I'm taking painkillers because they make me feel good, although they do in a way. I'm taking painkillers because how they make me feel good is eliminating the pain I'm in. And as such, I try to get off of them as fast as I get on them, and that goes for most of the drugs I'm taking. I have drugs that would help me sleep more comfortably, but they're mostly used for nausea, for example, so I don't take them at the moment because I'm not nauseous. I have morphine and what begins with a T, Trafamor or something like that, to help with some pain. I have a bunch of other meds here, but those pills are just sitting there unused for the past month, since I haven't been in pain bad enough to warrant taking any of them. In any case, there's two types of addiction. There's the addiction, right, because you like the feeling that the drugs can potentially give to you. This is something that I have not experienced. The drugs I have had have never really made me feel high or loopy, with the exception, I guess, of one time when I had alcohol. The other addiction I'm more familiar with, which is your body needs the drug or goes through withdrawal symptoms demanding it. You feel sick, flustered, weak, or painful. It doesn't sound like he has that type of addiction. It sounds like he had, because he would go to the doctor to probably tell her about that. It sounds like he wants the painkillers to help him feel good, is my guess. I'm disappointed in you. This Jared before me, that is not the one I know. I should have you arrested right now for what you did. You endangered everyone in the station. Do you know how much damage you did? You should have come to me. You know that? I can't explain how sorry I am. I still have some of the things I stole. I have it stashed somewhere. I'll give it back, I promise. And I'll pay for everything I took. Everything. You will pay for everything, definitely. However, I will not call the captain. Instead, you need help, Jared, and I'm willing to offer it. I'll help you with this addiction. But if you give me any single reason to doubt your honesty again, the consequences will be severe. Deal? Jared nods. Tim, you've done your part, and I thank you for it. If you ever need free medical assistance, come and see me. As for Jared, we've got some more talking before us. Stig, why couldn't you fade to black for the super steel? You fade to black for everything else. Time elapses. Okay, so good. That got done. Now let's keep reading. Our mobile computer. We were in memos. All right, so let's read about Len. Len's got some new shipment. Should check it out the next time I'm in Junkyard. He's the seller of the weaponry next to the 3 merchants outside, slightly to the north of Kareem's. Present for Yana. Buy that necklace for Yana next time you go to Dis. Oh, so that was a picture of Dis, the city. Boulevard Dowd. Meet Boulevard Dowd at the Hardcore City bar tomorrow, after he's returned from Foundry. Alphabet. Met the pipe worker again at Core City Metro Station. He pulled out a rancid pig intestines out of a bag and wanted to sell it to me. Also had a liver on a skewer. If we hadn't been to the station, I'd have Chad and Splinter zone him out. Note to self, have Alphabet killed next time he shows his face. And the Faceless? Holy... We ran into the Faceless on our trip back from Foundry. Chad opened fire, but they shot back and zoned both him and Splinter out. They got me and led me into a stuffy cave nearby. Interrogated me about an item and its description. It's the same thing the Acid Hunters had shown me today. We met at the Foundry exit, and Cornell had it kept in a metal box. Bluish-gray gizmo with 20-sided sides, with 10 20 sides. It had some weird socket-like openings and even weirder symbols all over it. Told me he got it from some caravan. Wanted to sell it to me, but I told him I don't deal in that. Told him I'd ask around, and we split. As we were returning to Core City, those pipe workers attacked us. I'm so happy now my camera had been broken when I met Cornell, because I would have surely taken a picture of that gizmo. The Faceless have found that. They let me go after 2 hours or so. I'm shaking as I type this. I'm on my way to Core City to warn Cornell and his crew to get rid of that thing. I hope they returned from Foundry, because I'm not going back there. A map? Unknown error. Local map unavailable. Please reinsert the memory card and try again. Games? There's only one game to select, and it's Solitaire. Playing it might drain the battery too much. And we don't need to South Underrail station feed. Take a look really quick. We've already read all this. Back at our own station feed. Oh wow, we almost leveled from that. 34 experience points, so when we turn this other quest in, we will level. Alright! Well, let's go ahead now and prepare for dealing with the Faceless. So let's go ahead and have something to eat. We'll first stop in by Deacon and see if he's maybe selling slightly better pig tabby boots. Back for some more goodies. Let me see what you have for sale. So, he is not selling boots that I want. We don't need stealth, so Deacon tends to sell higher level ninja tabby boots on occasion, but the other ones all remain at level 5. And I'm not interested in that extra 1.5% chance to be crit in return for getting stealth that I know I'm not going to use. We're going to buy, though, some burr caltrops from him now. And that will do. My mind is working ahead of itself, thinking about the beach when we get out to the Black Sea. Hey, what do you want? What sort of firearms do you repair? Junk, and I'd rather not. Oh, can I not, hold on, do I not have it? Did I sell it? Or I stored it. We got, I might have sold it. I can't remember now, I think I did. We got a blueprint that will allow Miles to make adjustments to weapons. It reminds me, you guys might not remember this game. A long time ago, there was, we're talking early 80s or mid 80s, there was a Battletech game. I think it was just called Battletech, but I don't remember. And at one point in this game, you were a cadet, you were learning how to pilot the mechs, your training place got under attack by a different force, and you had to escape the arena, and then you explored the world with your battle mech and possibly a few others, looking for your father, if I recall correctly. It wasn't a very too difficult game, but one of the things in it was that your mechs, you couldn't really improve them unless you brought them to a garage, at which point they had prefixed modifications they could do to your mech for you to make it stronger, and it would cost you a pretty penny. This is that. You find blueprints that will improve certain types of weaponry, pistols, machine guns, sniper rifles, or the like, all firearms, not energy weapons and such. You can bring them to Miles, those blueprints, and then he will be able to offer you the opportunity to improve those weapons, making them stronger. I still think crafting weapons is probably just slightly more powerful, results in slightly more powerful weaponry than what Miles produces, but it does give your firearms a run for their money, which I very much like as well. It's expensive also. It's not cheap to have those things done. We're thinking I think I did it once for one of my characters, and I think it was like 4,000 or 5,000 charons for it. In any case, that's what those special blueprints are for if you find them. Bring them to Miles, give them to him, and he'll be able to work on pistols. Or other shotguns or something of that sort. Alright, anyway, let's talk with Miles now. So, I brought you... Actually, we should trade first. Let's see. Just in case he has anything. Oh, good. We can get rid of this mine case I don't want. Miles, let me see what you have to trade. Sorry, I just did that. Sorry, Miles. What sort of firearms? Nope. I brought you that pulse capacitor thing. And it didn't fry you up in the process, I see. Give it here, and I'll attach it to the emitter. He takes the device. Alright. This might take a while. It's up. And emitting. Now, if you don't mind, I'm going to put some distance between it and myself, just in case the Faceless figure out what's going on and decide to plasma melt it. You have fun now. And we leveled. Alright, so let's go ahead and do that. Your character has gained enough specialization points, which can be used to improve your feats. Alright, so we have a very big choice here to start with. We can, one of our skills, our 7s, is going to be improved to 8. Will is, so I guess we'll talk about this really quick. I'm not going to be improving Will until we hit level 24, at which point I'm going to be taking the 2 extra points in Will feat to bring that to level 8. The next 3 levels are all going to go into either Dex, Agility, or Intelligence. Agility and Intelligence are the 2 I'm looking at the moment. If I put a point in Agility, we will be able to grab Uncanny Dodge, which means once I'm content with the amount of dodge we have total in skill points, which will be 90, this will let me dodge 4 melee strikes every 4 turns and effectively really eliminates my panicking about being hit in melee. It also gives us more initiative and a little more dodge and evasion as well. It will also help us leap across certain things with an agility of 8. We can get it to 10 very easily with Cave Hopper Boots and with Cave Hopper Stake, which is most of the things that require higher agility to bypass or circumvent. An intelligence of 8 will give us access to psychoneural reflexivity, which reduces the side cost for having 2 different types of psionic powers slotted in our brains. Very useful because it is very expensive. We haven't been having too much trouble with that though, nor with melee characters. My build wants me to put the point in agility first though, so I think we will stick with what my build wants. Next for skills. Well, this is not going to become as a big surprise to anyone, but 5 points in melee. Always improve skills that do damage. Some dodge. Some evasion. I am now done with dodge. I will not put any more points into dodge, I think, for the rest of the game. I think. Or if I am, it's because there's nothing else I want to take. Lockpicking remains at 81. Pickpocket goes up to 90. Armor Cast goes up to 90. Armor Thermos goes up to 90. I think, Tim, this is what you're doing. Okay. I need to check now. Alright. 1 second, everyone. I apologize. I do have to cut the recording. Okay. Yep, it was 88 here. I wanted an effective 25 in tailoring. Oh, I guess I could do that, but we'll put the dice at 21. So now we can break down normal Rat Hound leathers, convert them into armors, break those down to bits, and make those bits into leather armor repair kits, which will save us a pretty penny and allow us to get more money selling them. So this will slowly begin helping us make more cash by having a effective 26 in tailoring. Still, we're going to be pumping this as we level. We're almost done with mechanics as well. I think these might now get stopped so we can rush tailoring up as fast as I can. At least I think that's the plan. For our feats, I mentioned Uncanny Dodge, and I do like my Uncanny Dodge, so we're going to grab it. Grants you an ability that, when activated, will cause you to dodge the next 2 regular or special melee attacks targeted against you, plus an additional attack for each 30 points in dodge. It is your effective skill in dodge, not your base dodge, from my testing that affects. So this effectively is 6 dodges we get, 2 normally, plus 4 more. Actually, probably even higher, because it goes off of what our nimble adds to us. We'll take a peek at that when we're done with this. I'm about to this ending leveling. And I always grab, now that we have specialization points, exposed weakness duration up 1 point. It's just so useful to have it last 1 more round. So 2 rounds of exposed weakness on a target. So there we go. Then we want to drag Uncanny Dodge here. Well, let's test it really quick. So our dodge, good, is 157 currently. If I take off my armor, does that help at all? No, okay. So 157. So we would dodge 2 points normally, plus 1 more dodge for every 30 other points. So I would expect to see 7. And you will see that 7 up here. 7, yep. So it uses your complete total effective dodge, not the points in dodge. Not your straight points in it. So very handy, especially with something like greater siphon or leather armor if you're wearing it. Melee, you can be surrounded by a ton of melee enemies and they won't hit you for 1 round. And the cooldown, 5 turns. All right, that's a bit awkward. Maybe it's time for me to... Well, later. We might do something with our head space. It might be time to drop Psychotemporal... Entropic Recurrence. But not right now. Let's head in and say hello to the Faceless. It's another one of those strange symbols on the ground. Teleportation spot for later in the game. I tend to do that around level 18 or so. That quest for the dude. Ah, there's one of the tunneler's drillers. They're still just waiting here. And the plasma sentries have been disabled. Sounds like all the plasma sentries have been disabled, so they arrived here with more than just 1 plasma sentry, at least from what we can tell. Some bullets, another item, a normal health hypo. We don't need to look at the cameras, we don't care. We don't have any hacking, so we're not getting through that door. Clever place for that mine. I doubt the Faceless put them here, so these must have been dropped by Buzzer to stop people from poking about in his backyard. I think this turns off the cameras. All the power. We'll leave it off. Power's off anyway for all the turrets with that emitter having been activated. Ooh, would have been a little awkward. We are wearing flame-resistant armor, so... Nothing in the jump pile. There is a mine right here somewhere. There it is. Very clever place for that, since people will definitely want to walk back here to explore. Look at all the coal he's still got here, or is it some sort of rock in that train? I guess this train must be, I think it must be just deactivated or deactivated, so be not utilized. Now I'm going to check something, viewer. I've never destroyed a plasma sentry here. I want to know if we get experience points for it, if they're friendly or foe. They can't do anything. They're completely disabled. We did! 209 experience points. And it is a disabled bot. That's, I guess, kind of good to know. Wow! I'm glad that went in. I'm glad I got rid of that miss right then and there. The kamikaze bots are only worth 11 experience points. I'm not going to take the damage on them. Buzzer will probably do something with these bots if he's able to take control of them later after the emitters shut down. So we'll let him keep a sentry. Hope you guys like crawlers, because we've got more crawlers to deal with. You guys didn't think we were done with them, right? Let's see. So let's set these on fire. Nice. We got all 3 on fire. Is recurrence? We can probably recur one of these. I'm going to miss having that ability on my hotbar, but it would probably be useful to have limited temporal increment, so we'll think about it. Charge. Actually, we're not using sprint, which I should have done. Sprint, because I want to kill at least one of these guys. Just because you take increased exposed weakness does not mean it will hit more often. That's a weird spot to drop the egg. I guess you just wanted to walk around. Feels like they're lower level burrowers to me. Viewer, I have a question for you. I'm going to allow you to decide the next feat for my character, if you made it this far and are still listening. I normally, with this build, with the character, because this is not the first time I played through the game almost entirely on normal with this build before. I was playing through it on hard. I have chosen Weaponsmith as the next skill to take, to give my chrome spear, my spears that I'll craft, we'll have 2 of them, an extra 5% chance to critically hit. I'm not sure if I want that this time, but I have no clue what other feat to take. I will try to remember to put a link to my build in the description of this video, though I can't promise I'll be successful at that. I want to get a little closer. We're getting super lucky with all the hits today. Set that one on fire. Not for very much, but we'll still be current. Oh, there's 3 normal burrowers left. Good, run in my direction. Now it will die to the burning and the recurrence. Oh, good critical hit there, Tim. Oh, I'm not. My shield isn't activated. That's a new mistake. You also did a new mistake, not activating Uncanny Dodge. We have it. We don't have to take any damage from the little burrowers, the spawns. Or not so much damage from them. Every attack it makes reduces the Uncanny Dodge's timer tick by 1. Alright, not bad. We should have a small lithium cell. Oh! Completely missed the egg. And we can use normal hypo. Poison glands. Like, we could take a... We're going to take biology eventually. We could take a poison upgrade to coat my weapons rather than rely on critical hits and just do slightly more damage over time. But I am planning to have a super steel spear. We're going to have one that's electrical, I think. And we're going to have one that's energy-based. And they're just going to shred things. So maybe poison, as well as sounds neat, probably would not be the best thing to use. Dragunov is an old-style sniper rifle. It's reliable, durable, and has a high rate of fire. Also worth 8,000 bits. We'll take it. Tons of flares. What's our flares up to? I always carry too many flares. Rubble. Get another obsidian shard. Alright. It's only a matter of time until Rail Crossing becomes infested with burrowers. They're probably going to have to close up shop because of these things, not because of any ironheads. This is a slightly, I don't know if better is the proper term, easier? We'll go with easier. If you go through this path, you'll have to fight some more burrowers, and maybe by the time you're actually here at Rail Crossing, because it's the first task Tanner wants you to get done. You can't handle them yet, but we've been doing nothing but, seems like, crawlers every episode so far, so we're not going to have that trouble. Is our equipment holding up? It's good enough. There is nothing really worth searching in this area except for killing more burrowers. How much are they worth? They're worth 200, maybe we kill them. 47. I don't think that's really worth it. Yeah, so if you're familiar with the game, I will link a build in my description this time. Once again, I'll try to remember to do that. If I forget, just send me a comment and I'll do it. Oh, I didn't want to do that. I want to search these lockers first. So you guys can see what the end build will look like with this character. And there goes the last of the driver chain modules we need. And we have, I believe, enough to break down that piece of garbage armor now. Now if we don't want to have to fight Faceless, we're going to be kind of quick at this. Get into the vents and then peek around the vents. We are, as usual, not going to destroy the Faceless. I don't really feel like I want to fight them on hard mode down in the deep caverns. I have still not done the deep caverns in hard mode with those other characters of mine. So that will be all. I'm going to wait until we're there together, viewers. Same thing what I did a long time ago with Garrett. How he was the first person to do the deep caverns for me on screen. And I'd like to do the same thing on hard mode. There's a secret here that we can't see. So we can, not picking the vents, so we can open the vents. Faceless have a 1-point oddity item on them that you can study 6 times. It requires killing Faceless, and I think they don't like it when you kill them. One of these days, I'll make a character who's like a space marine like Gabriel Angelos who actually kills all the Faceless, and rather than works with them. Sorry, Buzzer, I had to search that first. Hey! There's a switch that will turn on the turrets. It's behind the counter on the other side of the room. Well, we're here to talk with the Faceless. I think that's a very Tim thing to do. I will grab a few things from you, Buzzer. Let's do it. You can sense his mind's eye fall upon you. For a moment, it's as if he's about to attack, but his curiosity stops him. You hear an echoing voice in the back of your head. The words sound familiar, but you can't make them out. It is as if he speaks in a language you once knew but had forgotten. As the voice gets louder, it starts making more sense. Submit. Allow his excursion into your mind to continue. The combat just didn't start, and so I'm willing to allow him to do this. Submit to the questioning. Submit to the questioning, or we shall resolve this in combat. What would you like to know? Everything. The mechanical grappling arm protruding from his helmet starts moving. I will look into your thoughts and extract the answers to my questions. The process is painless, and after this, we will depart and leave you unharmed. I like stuff like this. There's been a few sci-fi movies or series I've watched. Farscape did this, and Flash Gordon did something like this, where they were able to fast forward and back up and see what people had experienced as they searched people's minds for what was inside of it. Well, if you say it's not going to hurt, and you can depart after this, that would save Rail Crossing. Allow him to inspect our head. You know, I've never noticed that the actual claw connects to my head. The metal hand grips your forehead and your thoughts begin to swirl in your brain. It's like someone put your mind on fast forward, except that the thoughts are not moving in sequence, but instead your brain is jumping from one to another, seemingly randomly. They switch so fast you can barely make out what they are. After a while it stops and the metal hand releases you. For a moment you stand there confused, but pull yourself together quickly. Thank you for cooperating. Tim. Let's do this again. Thank you for cooperating, Tim. We will be leaving now. But before we leave, I'm afraid we must deal with our unwilling host. What will happen to Buzzer? I'm afraid he must die. Why? I may not answer that. Wait. If I'm not mistaken, you came here looking for something, but did not find it. So there are several ways you can get that number 1 to show up. You complete the Foundry quest first. Oh, not the Foundry quests. You complete a quest in Foundry, which requires you to talk to potentially deal with another group of Faceless there. And amongst what you discover is that they are looking for this object. Then you can come here and do Rail Crossing second, and that will be present if you do it that way. But if you have that mobile computer and you parse through it, it will show up here too. This answer for number 1. This is none of your concern. We don't have persuade, so we'll say look. What is it? Oh, maybe they changed this, because I can't convince them not to kill Buzzer, I think. Perhaps leaving him alive can increase your chances of finding it in the future? Surely you're cutting off an avenue of investigation by killing him. This is not acceptable. We had to do Rail Crossing first. Okay, so we had to find the mobile computer, talk to people in Rail Crossing, and then come here. It's not Rail Crossing, Foundry, and then here. Wow. Okay, so I did things out of order, and I told you guys the wrong thing. The whole reason I did it in this order was because I didn't want to kill this Faceless. And now we're here going to have to kill him if we want to save Buzzer, or let them kill Buzzer. And I can't make up my mind which of these two things I want to have happen. This is a bit awkward because I don't like how this is. Obviously, I don't like how this turned out. I feel like this is a mistake. We have the information about what the Faceless are kind of looking for, and we know Carnal has it. So, oh well. So we're going to go ahead and roll 2 dice to make the decision here. So I have a purple dice and a blue dice. On a purple, we will kill this Faceless if it rolls higher. 20-sided dice. On the blue, we'll let him kill Buzzer instead. Purple wins. We kill the Faceless. I can't let you do this, freak. Well, we may not have a choice but to let him do it, because we missed that. Wow. Lots of 2 misses I really didn't want. Okay, well, we're dead. Okay, well, I guess now we just reload the game. When I last save. So, occasionally, Underrail likes popping up the, you know, it takes a lot of planning to do things. But sometimes, if the game, after 5 attacks, and you can't hit a 83% chance to hit on 2 of those, and then you miss 73% chances to hit in a row, it's the game's fault. Stig. I hate that little pop-up. I hate that little pop-up. It's just as much the RNG's fault. Okay, we're going to take out our anger on the Faceless in the front of the station now. What could I have done differently? Ran away. We missed the exposed weakness. We missed another attack with the first... No, we hit him once with the spear, hit him with the kukri. Then we missed all 5 attacks? After that was done. Disgusting, Stig. Ooh. Wow, we're almost dead again. Tim, you gotta take these guys seriously. Okay, you really need to take these guys seriously, Tim. You're not. I've never killed a Faceless in hard mode yet, so I need to be much more cautious. Oh, a decent Hornet, extended magazine, garbage shield. In the case. Going in the front door is death for us, so that's not going to happen. That armor might be worth selling. That one is not, though. Let's break that down. Then we can make ourselves a normal repair kit. And I guess we can repair our cave hopper boots. No, we're just going to make new cave hopper boots. Eventually. Alright, so that is too tough for us at the moment. We cannot do that battle. And I would rather not do that battle. So this means we have to do Rail Cross... I keep saying Rail Crossing. Foundry next. So be it. Alright, but we can do that in the next episode then. So I'm going to go back to Southgate Station, do some inventory management. And we pick up, we will be ready to go to Foundry. We can't do... Can we talk... Well, hold on. Can we talk with the Faceless there? Now. Before we get the quest. I don't know. I guess we could give it a try. I guess we could give it a try. They're right here. Let's see if we can talk with them. The other alternative is we just let the Faceless destroy Buzzer. Or try that combat again. We shouldn't have lost like we did. But I would like to solve this amicably between the Faceless and Rail Crossing everyone there. So we're going to do a little bit of metagaming here and see if indeed we can talk with this group. The quadruple Faceless steps forward. His weapon is aimed at you, yet he seems reluctant to immediately open fire, instead opting for an emotionless stare. Give him time to see what his intentions are. We can pretend that we watched the Faceless upstairs in Buzzer's room for a little bit, and then left, killed the Faceless out front, and decided to explore a little bit more. I'm not sure what the Faceless are doing there, but they're not killing Buzzer right away. They're looking for something, and we know what they're looking for. He silently holds you at gunpoint, and for a while nothing happens. Nothing but the subtle exchange of glances between his weapons at the ready companions, done in such a curiously responsive manner as if an aspect of some kind of unspoken conversation. He then reaches for something on the inside of his chin of his mask, and soon after that you can hear a crude synthesized voice. Identify yourself. My name is Tim, and I'm a vagrant scavenger. What is your business here? I wanted to talk to you about the item you're looking for. How do you know about this? A traveling merchant you recently interrogated, the one with the 2 bodyguards you killed? He wrote about what happened on his mobile computer. He too is not among the living anymore, but his logs offered enough information for me to seek you out. What you say did occur. Oh, right, the mobile computer does point out that they were waiting here. Okay. Something of value has been stolen from us. We believe it might have found its way to the community nearby. If you can help us locate the missing item, we will be on our way. The item you seek is in possession of a man called Cornell. He's a leader of the Acid Hunters gang, which usually hangs out in Core City. At this point, it's highly unlikely that the item is anywhere near Foundry. Providing you're telling the truth, we have no reason to remain here. Take this as a sign of our appreciation for your assistance in this matter. He hands you what looks to be a high-quality power core. What will you do now? The matter is very simple. We will retrieve this item. Those who would stop us from doing so will be dealt with. Our business here is done. And that's it. Let's go back to Rail Crossing then. Maybe we can do all this amicably. I thought the mobile computer gave you that type of option for both that conversation and the one against the mind reader here. The very first time I encountered the mind reader with J-Dirk, I set down a trap. He walked into it, if I recall correctly, and then I just aced him. I wasn't having any of that. And I think I freed the Faceless in Core City, because he was a prisoner of war. And for the Rail Crossing, for the Foundry group we just talked to, on my J-Dirk character. 1 second, my food's expiring. I don't think I ever fought that group. I did kill Faceless for a bit with that character, though, outside Core City when I saw that they dropped ID items. So I don't think that would have gone well had he explored Deep Caverns, which he did not. I made it to Deep Caverns around level 20, if I recall correctly, skipping so much stuff. Oh, we should look at that power core. Oh, level 98. Not a high quality. I would consider that mid quality. Low quality is everything from level 90 down. That's low. Mid is everything from about level, I'd say, 120 to 90. And high is everything higher than 120. The highest item I think I've found has been 165, which is like super late game. And you have to have a spec able to actually craft with those types of components. Like focused on crafting heavily to utilize that stuff. Good, they give you a crowbar, just in case you do want to go through the vents. So those are all dead ends, we don't go that way. Alright, one more time for this. So that's 6 deaths now we're up to. 6 deaths. There he is. Alright, so we've done this before, so we'll go ahead and talk with him. Okay, yeah, from that side, the claw doesn't actually touch the head. He just like leans up and puts his own hand next to his forehead. Okay, and now the conversation has changed. So we say that we... Oh, hold on, let's look. So, what is it? Wait, if I'm not mistaken, you came here looking for something but did not find it. We know you spoke to us before, but that does not change the fact this person must die. Look, while I did tell you guys where to look for the item, you still haven't found it, or else you wouldn't be here. This man might still prove useful to your investigation. This is true, though leaving him alive is risky. We will take this chance. Should it come to pass that this was a bad decision, we will return to correct it. I don't know why you have to go to Foundry first for that. I would think you would explain to either group what's going on. I think that would flow better than you have to go to Foundry first. Alright guys, well we've been playing for an hour, so I'm going to cut the recording here after we loot everything. Ooh, nice. Just the scopes. A broadhead bolt and a Charon. Buzzer has no problems with us taking everything from around here. We'll come back, we'll talk with Buzzer about what potentially happened. In the next episode, we're just going to loot everything really quick on screen. Buzzer doesn't mind. He says he can't part with any of the good stuff, but he can part with all the crappy stuff. Which makes me wonder why he has a bunch of crappy stuff in his house, because that's not how I roll in my house. We got a barrel. Lots of scopes today. That's very good. They will help us make decent assault rifles and sniper rifles for some cash. Alright guys, so thank you guys for watching. Hope it was entertaining, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care everyone.